It's time for this month's edition of PlayStation Plus vs Xbox Games with Gold, where we take a look at both services' game offerings on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Let's get right into this. First, we'll be looking at what PS4 users will be getting with PlayStation Plus. The major title this month is Drawn to Death, a game being directed by David Jaffe, who is famous for Twisted Metal and God of War. It's a multiplayer third-person shooter set inside pages of a teenager's notebook and features a really unique hand-drawn art style. It's a multiplayer game with some potential, and the fact that it's included with PlayStation Plus, that's a pretty significant game. Drawn to Death releases on April 4th.
In the game, you actually get to go into that world and have these amazing tactical, action-packed fights inside this kid's notebook.
Step it up, you stupid fucking baby!
You know, setting the game in the notebook at a surface just gives us unbridled creativity. Any level we can think of, any weapon, any character basically has a home in this game. The idea for us is it's a 4-player max shooter brawler. And the reason is if you look at games that you can really get your...
PS4 users are also getting Lovers in a Dangerous SpaceTime, a 1 or 2 player couch co-op action space shooter set in a neon battleship. It's charming and it's a great game to play with a friend. If you want a great couch co-op title, which are definitely few and far between these days, you'll want to check out Lovers in a Dangerous SpaceTime. It's got an 82 on Metacritic. The final 2 games are smaller indie titles. First, 10 Second Ninja, which is described as a hardcore side-scroller. It's about getting the fastest time possible in each level, and it's got a 76 on Metacritic. The other and final game is Curses and Chaos, which comes from the creators of Mercenaries Kings. It's a brawler with a good soundtrack. That's got a 70 on Metacritic. Moving on to the offerings with Xbox Games with Gold. First, you'll be getting the Xbox One launch title Ryse Son of Rome, which definitely isn't a perfect game. It's a technical marvel. However, it is very short, and the major gripe was the lack of content for $60. Well, now that it's coming with Games with Gold, that really isn't an issue. Many saw the game as just a tech demo, and that's evident with the Metacritic score of 60, but it's still a nice inclusion.
The Emperor and commoners have made enemies. So many enemies. Everyone who opposes Rome has allied with them. Whilst a massive barbarian army has swarmed across the Empire, wreaking havoc. And their army has grown tenfold.
I swear to you, Centurion, Rome will not fall. Not today.
We must keep their army out at all costs!
Today, we fight.
Next up, The Walking Dead Season 2, which is a very nice game to receive. However, you obviously should play Season 1 before playing Season 2. Season 1 was a Games with Gold title way back in 2015, so if you've been a member that long, you'll have both seasons. Season 2 continues from Season 1's story and is another thrill ride. It's got an 81 on Metacritic. Finally, thanks to backwards compatibility, Xbox One owners will also be receiving 2 Xbox 360 titles. First, Darksiders, which can be described as a cross between The Legend of Zelda and God of War. Don't get too excited though, it's definitely not at the level of those 2 games, but it's still a very good action-adventure title with solid gameplay and an engaging story. Darksiders has an 83 on Metacritic.
Rider of the Red Horse. You can look me in the eye when I kill you.
The other 360 title and final game is Assassin's Creed Revelations, the final of the 3 games in the Ezio trilogy and probably the weakest. At this point, Ezio's story was getting a little played out, however he's still a great character and there's a lot of fun to be had in Revelations. The story is great and the formula works, but if you've been playing the games, you know it's gotten a little bit redundant. Still worth playing, Assassin's Creed Revelations has an 80 on Metacritic. So that is both services' offerings this month, and I think it's a pretty clear win for games with gold once again. While Drawn to Death has potential, that's all it is at this point. Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time is nice, but the other 2 indie titles leave a lot to be desired. With games with gold, you've got a retail game in Ryse, even if it's not the best, The Walking Dead Season 2, which is great, and 2 really good Xbox 360 games. It's a very good month for Xbox. So that's gonna wrap up this video. What do you think? Are you disappointed by the Plus offerings? How about games with gold? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.